Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Wally's World, starring me, Wally. Sounds kind of pretentious. We'll have to work on that intro. But, so I feel like at the beginning of all my videos, I'm like, oh my god, it's been so long. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna do this video. It's just a fact. I can tell you it's gonna change, but it's a fact. I could spend 3 extra minutes telling you about what's happening, but I think it may be better and more conducive to our relationship if I just cut into the video. So, the topic of this video is going to be something really personal to me, something that I've always struggled with my whole life, and something that sometimes I forget about, but I get reminded of by people that I do. So, this video is going to be about my stuttering. Some people will be like, oh, you stutter? I didn't notice. Or people will be like, oh yeah, I could tell. I didn't want to say anything, like, poor girl. And honestly, I'm 24 years old and I've stuttered my whole life. Like, every second. Like, I feel like maybe I came out the womb stuttering. So, and looking back at my last videos, I'm just like, wow, like I really do have a stutter, and maybe it should be good to address. Like maybe I do have, well not maybe, like I do have a stutter and it'd be good to address. So we're going to talk about the history of Wally and her stutter. So like I previously mentioned, I've been stuttering my whole life. There wasn't a moment I don't recall stuttering. I think I went to my first speech therapist at around 3rd grade or so. And for a lot of my life, for the earlier years, I didn't actually communicate with anyone else beyond my sister. Because I think we just had that twin vibe going on and I didn't really need to communicate. And then they actually took us and put us in separate classes, which was like detrimental to my life and actually forced me to communicate, which is probably when they learned I did have a speech impediment, which is the technical term for it. So my first speech therapist told me that stuttering is actually genetic and it goes from father to son to daughter. So my father stuttered and his father stuttered, but what makes them very different from me is that I kept going into my adulthood, and although the severity has decreased slightly, it's still a very apparent thing. So if I were to marry a man who stuttered and he was the first, then there's probably, or if he was even the second, there's a good possibility that our child may stutter, which I wouldn't be upset at because I feel like I would know how to deal with them. So in my earlier life, stuttered, speech therapy, up until about high school, which is when they told me, like, we can't help you because your speech impediment doesn't actually affect your academics. Like, you get great grades, like you have goals, what have you. But when I was growing up, I actually wanted to be a broadcast journalist. But I felt like I didn't see any broadcast journalists who had a speech impediment. So therefore, like, I couldn't be the one. And then if I were the one, I'd be like the stuttering broadcaster, which I just didn't think could ever happen. And honestly, still don't think that they put some of the speech impediment on TV. So I quickly like switched my goals of broadcast journalism to fashion, which I'm still very in love with. I'm still very happy I picked. And I'm thinking of like the reactions I've gotten throughout my life when people told me that like I stuttered, maybe I should pick something where I wouldn't need to communicate with other people, but this is my disability. Like, this is something that hinders my life, and just because it's very apparent doesn't mean that I'm gonna change my whole life in order to compensate for it. So the reaction I've gotten from people is they'll tell me like, oh, slow down, oh, you're fine, oh, just breathe. But I'm 24 years old and I stutter. If it was that easy as someone just telling me to slow down, like, I wouldn't stutter anymore, but it's not. So if you interact with someone on a daily basis or just once in a while who stutters, please don't tell them to slow down. Don't tell them like anything to that nature, because it's quite annoying. Secondly, my biggest hurdle is I really don't like when people draw attention to my stuttering, and I don't like it when you attempt to finish the sentence or the word that I'm trying to say because I am stuttering. Like, I know I'm stuttering, you know I'm stuttering, but I can't just stop the communication process mid-sentence. Like, I'm gonna have to get it out. So if you finish it, I'm still gonna have to say it, and it kind of makes it a bit more uncomfortable and more awkward. So I think if you're a person who communicates with people with speech impediments or any kind of physical impediment, you shouldn't bring attention to it, and you shouldn't try to compensate yourself for their lack of ability. So although I'm saying in my life my stuttering has hindered me socially, has hindered me like in my potential career choices, at the end of the day I graduated college with great grades, a great social life. I've been to multiple countries. I stuttered multiple languages, and I graduated college. I moved to New York City, and I work in fashion. Like, I've accomplished my goals. So just so if you have any impediment, if you have any disability, that should never hinder you from doing something that you really love and that you're passionate about and that you are willing to put in the work for. That if you have all these things and you're not willing to put in the work, then you're just lazy. Don't blame it on your impediment or your disability. And I think overall this has really helped me be a more open and outgoing person, because I could be super shy, not talk to anyone, and then when you did talk to me, you'd be like, oh, she has a speech impediment. No. It's like, oh yeah, Wally, she stutters, but it will never be the first thing you say about me. It's like, oh, the boisterous one. Oh, the very outgoing one, like the likable one. That's me. So never let your impediment or your disability define you. And if anyone else stutters, if anyone wants to know more, please reach out to me on social media, reach out to me like any way, shape, or form, and I can communicate with you, because it's something that it doesn't go away, and the severity of things changes from time to time. Remember when I first moved back to New York, my stuttering was so bad. I would have days where I physically didn't want to communicate with anyone because I couldn't get anything out. But those days pass. Those days pass, and you get better. And sometimes, like, I don't think I've stuttered once in this video, but I'm sure I'll stutter immediately after. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just thought it'd be nice to address something that's gonna keep occurring, and that it gives a bit more personal information about myself. So I hope that you like it. I hope you comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on social media, and